Welcome. Today we're going to introduce a new practice, and it's the idea of meditating on something. In fact, we've done this with different subjects, but today we're going to turn the idea of meditating on something that's going on in your life. We use this expression in regular, conversational speech, like I need to meditate on that. And what we're looking to do is to bring our attention to, say, a certain situation or something that we might have some struggle with, or a problem, or something that you need to unpack a little bit more, maybe something you've been looking for a solution to or some light to be shed upon. And to bring that forth as a question to yourself. Now, what we're going to be doing is quite different than what your mind might do by default around this kind of situation. Generally, we ruminate. So we'll pick up a subject and turn it over and over, looking for answers, but really moving through habit patterns of the mind. And sometimes we will land on a good solution that way. But the meditative approach, and in fact, this is the contemplative approach, is to use a concentration practice to settle on the I'm gonna pause on this. Just need to think of the word here. But the meditative approach is to settle on the subject with really discrete language. So we have a few words to describe, like, for example, what am I going to do about my job? What am I going to do about my job? And so we have that question that we will pose to ourselves, but whenever you notice your mind is analyzing the problem or creating a story around it, or that you're ruminating, or that your thoughts are just generally getting discursive, that instead you come back to your breath and let your mind settle and focus again, and then you bring up the question again. And so we're contemplating the question, but we're not actually allowing our mind to get too carried away with itself. At the essence of this is that we're opening up to perhaps a new approach that is outside of our habitual ways of thinking. So we're allowing space that something may or may not arise within. And we really can't hold any expectations, because that will just defeat the process. Instead, just explore the situation or problem at hand, and see what consciousness has to do with it. Okay, so what's required if you want to continue this investigation is to take a few moments to land on something that seems relevant in your life. Something that's not easy. So let's do that first. You can close your eyes if you like. It doesn't have to be the ultimate thing, just something that needs some work. You may find even a few things come to mind, but you can just put aside all but one. Okay, now remember, we're not looking for an answer. We're going to just contemplate. So let's begin by bringing our palms together to heart center. And to reaffirm, this will be the focus of your practice today, reaffirm this question in your mind. Reinforce the words by saying it with your inner voice. And so this comes with some attachment of the heart, that you are truly looking for some change or transformation, or at least a solution in this area, that we're going in wholeheartedly. Okay. Bring your hands down and just make sure that you do feel comfortable. Let's take a few minutes to settle into our body and to get in touch with the breath. So allow there to be a sense of ease in the parts of your body connected to the ground. So you can feel as steady as possible. Bring a sense of space up through the back of your neck. Let your shoulder blades settle down your back. And through your jaw, into your tongue, and the muscles of your face. Try to let go of any concern, any tightening. And let yourself feel the breathing body. And we're going to be working with the breath from time to time to come back to presence, sometimes to interrupt the habits of our mind and return to the origin of your contemplation. You can take your time, but when you feel that you've arrived in steadiness and ease, at least to a good extent, then bring forth with your inner voice the short question, the reminder of what you're contemplating upon. And you may say it a number of times inwardly, or if you're alone, maybe you whisper these words. Okay, now let's make sure that there's some space around the words. You notice your mind continues along a train of thought, and then just gently come back to your breath. And whenever you feel that you've returned to peace, then bring up the words again. When offered a question, the mind will automatically try to seek some kind of solution. We're looking instead to open this question to the wider extent of consciousness, beyond the habits of the mind. And the way beyond the habits of the mind is through peace, a feeling of peace. If you notice your mind has encountered any disturbance, your attention has moved to whatever else, then first feel the breath, return to steadiness, take your time. And then the question, your contemplation, told simply within. And then no assumptions, no problem solving. Just open space. Asking this question within is like planting a seed. We can't control how that seed will grow or even whether or not it does. But sometimes something new emerges, something you may not have realized before. And if these ideas come forth to you, then you don't need to cling to them or try to save them in the memory bank. Just know that good ideas, they will come back. They will be sustained. Your body so still. Your breath moving gently. Your mind open to possibility. Thank you for your practice. Namaste.